just has harvested a potato. It's the potato plant. She's just like, I did it. The nobody who does nothing. June 26th. That's for June 26th. I'm mad. I'm so mad. So I literally googled mad cartoon characters with like the steam popping out because I thought that's such a trope in cartoons, so I wanted to draw that. Couldn't find like an old one that I really wanted to draw, so I just drew like this angry like buff Jerry from Tom and Jerry. It's such a funny scene. Also, Tom and Jerry is like, where do we fall on that? Because I always really hated Tom, and then there was a brief period of time where I felt bad for Tom, and I was like, maybe Jerry's actually the aggressor. After watching some Tom and Jerry clips, I hate Tom. I hate him. He's like not smart at all, and he is definitely the aggressor. He's cruel, and like he's just, like I said, not smart at all. Like literally, this little guy should not be causing you that much trouble. I'm sorry, had to be said. But yeah, why am I angry? Why am I angry, little Jerry? Also, the top one is what I was trying to draw without the reference, and then with the reference. I like doing that because it kind of helps me just realize, I guess, my current drawing skills. I don't know, it's weird for me to like, it just helps me break it down, like what I actually need to draw, especially with a perspective and like making things look more 3D like this. But why am I mad? Why doesn't the arts make money? Or why, when it does it not get distributed to the artist? I'm so mad. You're telling me the sports industry is profitable and movies aren't? And that's the thing, they are profitable. Like, it's just, I feel like it's gotta be like the middlemen. It's gotta be like the investors. And that's why I'm mad today. That's why I'm Angry Jerry. Okay? I just watched a YouTube video. I haven't checked out the rest of the channel. It was posted 2 weeks ago by this channel called Concrete Stories. Let me vet it real quick. So it's kind of like a commentary channel. I don't know, just found it. But I saw this video by them called Why Every YouTuber Sucks Now. And it's so depressing. So depressing. I'm so scared. And again, just acknowledging my biases towards negativity due to my mental illness is I'm so scared that YouTube is just going to become another TV. It's going to become another Hollywood. That's not what YouTube was supposed to be. Like, of course, originally it was just like a startup by a couple guys trying to do the tech aspect of it. But that's not what it should be. You know? This is like akin to the printing press being invented, but for video. And to see it become something that's literally just TV, worse TV, literally worse TV. When YouTube tries to be TV, it's worse. Because it doesn't have the writers' rooms, doesn't have the budgets, even Mr. Beast, you know, I'm sure that that's actually pretty high towards the cost of other reality TV shows, but he doesn't have the craft. I saw someone talk about it on Twitter one time that was like saying how she was a film critic, I can't remember who it was, but she was pointing out that Mr. Beast's video, they have actual real stunts, right? Probably. But the way they're filmed and edited do not especially film, don't show the actual scale of it. So that's why you can watch like this huge explosion and like 5 cars crashing in a helicopter, and it just feels like a video versus a film. So even though it's real, it doesn't feel real. So I hate it. So this is my drawing for today. I just did a little sketch. It is from the Silmarillion. Had to get the book out. But yeah, it's King Thingol, Melian, and then his daughter, Luthien. Because, yeah, again, remember, I don't actually know how to draw, so this is just supposed to be fun. And then over here I drew like turkey. This was from some time in the past. I randomly drew those ghosts. But yeah, this is the first drawing of June. We've got a long way to go, but this is fun. This is today's drawing. This is today's drawing. And then also did this. So it is the 18th. And I have drawn one other time. June has been tough. Mentally. And I have been thinking about how frustrated I am that the past 2 years I've had to focus on mental health and financial stability and learning how to cook a meal plan and, learning how to relax. I'm sick of it. 2 years I've been doing this. Moving into an apartment. Growing plants. I'm tired of it. It's not working for me. I gotta hyperfixate on learning how to draw and making YouTube videos, pouring hours and hours. I'm talking about staying up till 2 a.m. editing. That's what I gotta do. Listen, I've been to so much therapy. I've been to support groups. And it's all great. It's awesome. I love it. I've been learning about emotional, regulation. I've been learning about boundaries and, trying to care less about work and not be a perfectionist and, I can't do it anymore, bro. I can't be this responsible, almost 30-year-old anymore. I've got to admit that all I want to do is make silly YouTube videos and watch movies. That's all I want to do, bro. I'm gonna go in depth in today's drawings. I did this little seashore thing, like a little beach. There you go. And then it reminded me of this children's book that I used to read at my grandparents' house. So I think it was from the 60s or 70s. But it just, I think I read it before I could read, so I didn't read the words, I just looked at the pictures, but it was this thick book, right? And there was just these very detailed pictures of fish, and it was kind of not like a super vibrant art style, more like a very 70s, lots of dark greens and oranges, and that, and there would be just lots of fish. There was some that was a beach scene, I think, and then there was a zoo scene, and it's just these huge drawings of things. I think some of them were it would be numbers, so there would be 1 tiger, 2 tigers, 3 tigers, kind of thing. No idea what the name of the book was. Almost went down a rabbit hole trying to find it, but I was there's no way I can find this. So I just kind of reminisced, and then I remembered this book, which I still have. My little storybook from when I was a kid. I think this was my art style back then. Just drawing on the book. And I was well, since I can't find that other book, let me just revisit this book and kind of draw. So this was one of my favorite stories in the book. It's about this girl who she, I don't know, that's a whole other story. If you want me to, like, explain more about the story, let me know, and then, like, next month's video I can revisit this. But yeah, so that, and I just really am intrigued by this art style too, because it's very distinctive. It's not like even super commercial, I don't think. It's like very, you can tell one person drew this, and one person did, Hilda Often. It's very detailed. It's not necessarily the prettiest style, but it's very charming, I think. And so I took that as an inspiration and drew this, which, it's okay. I think she has more of an Emma Watson vibe than this girl, who I think has more of like a softer kind of look. More like this, you can't really see it super great on camera, but she just has this look that's very like apprehensive but calm but trusting but obviously nervous. Like you can see her hands too. It's just a lot this character is saying. And then yeah, I'm trying to see if there's other pictures of her. So I think that was okay. And then I've been watching these videos about Skyrim, like just random roleplay videos, and there's this one series that this guy coming up with scenarios for Skyrim characters, and it reminded me of my own recent playthrough of the game, which is playing as a Nord who just goes through the main, like, very beginning quest at wherever that one town is that gets burnt down, and then just goes off and does not engage with the main quest at all. And, like, literally, when I play that character, I kind of imagine that she's, like, she was out of the country for a long time, right, as a Nord, and then she finally comes back home, and she immediately gets arrested. And then almost executed, and that really sours her to the whole experience of Skyrim again. She's like, bro, should I leave? Should I leave again? So this character then kind of goes and like just goes and explores the wild, not really doing much except trying to reconnect with her homeland, and then eventually buying a house and doing little side quests to help people because she literally was super poor and almost got executed, so she has like a soft spot for helping people. And so then I was like, ooh, and drew this character. And then redrew it over here. And this is the Nord who does nothing. Excuse. The Nord who does nothing. And I kind of got tired, so I didn't fully draw out the background, but I kind of just imagined someone just being like, Dragonborn, and then like fires in the background. And then obviously she's just gonna go get some sweet rolls, and then she has like a blue mountain flower. So I think this is kind of a fun character. And it reminds me a lot of like Castle Crashers. Kind of like that aesthetic. And I really like the sketch one that I did too, because I feel like it has a lot of energy. This one, I wanted to try to make sure the armor looked very Nordic, but it kind of felt like it veered more into Imperial territory. Versus this one, I feel like this had more of like that fur armor. Oh, and then I had the knapsack, which I like, and I love the little boots on this one. Versus this one, I don't think I really captured the boots fully. But yeah. So, that is June 18th. This is the drawing for today, June 19th. And this is actually the last page of this sketchbook. So, and I started this, as you can see, in September of last year. Here. This is the last page. I kind of picked up on yesterday's character of the Nord who does nothing. So again, that's what we did yesterday. And today I was just laying around and I just had this idea of this character with a leaf on her head. And just being really derpy. Do people still say derpy? I feel like that was a very, very, like, 2012 thing. Anyway, so, yeah. If you see this drawing of a dragon and looks familiar, it's literally ripped off from, the Inheritance Cycle books with, Aeron Eldest. I just copied that and drew it. But yes, there's a dragon, there's some flames, and then this text says, I don't know if you can read it, "Where is our ancestral long prophesized hero?" And on this panel I kind of imagine like the shadows of like a whole horde of dragons kind of like blanketing the hills, like it's getting really bad. And then it just goes to the little leaf. And then she just has harvested a potato. It's a potato plant. She's just like, I did it. The Nod, who does nothing. Yeah, that's today's. Bro, life sucks. And here's today's drawing. June 20th. Third day in a row, I think. But yeah, as you can see with this drawing, I have a new sketchbook. Like 2 years ago, I got this for $3 at the thrift store. And I found it recently. I was like, oh yeah, this would be perfect because I finished my first sketchbook. So I decided to draw this character again. And for this attempt, I focused on like making the armor skirt feel more like a Nord. So I looked at like the studded armor and kind of copied that. So if you look at like this one, it's a little bit more basic. This is a little bit more defined. And then I drew an amulet of Mara, and I added a little bit of fur detail onto the main armor too. And then drew Lute, and then this is just like the Nord who does nothing. Bard's College edition. So training to be a bard while also holding a sword. I think it's pretty funny. That's like the crux of this character. Like, she's doing nothing, but she's also like super defensive. Because like I love the idea of playing around with that idea of like in Skyrim you could be being the most peaceful person ever, but a lot of times you're gonna have armor. And so this is just like, yeah, she has a lot of armor, not because she's in a video game, but because she is severely traumatized and being defensive, and she feels like she needs to have all this armor on, even just to learn how to play the lute. So that's like the dichotomy of this character. And it's so funny, because like imagining that, and then imagining she's actually supposed to be being the Dragonborn and like saving the country from dragons, but she refuses to. I think that's a really interesting choice. Because, like, she, is a warrior, right? Like, even when she's trying to be a normal, like, citizen, she's always carrying, like, a sword, decked out, and yet she refuses to save the country. And I don't know fully why. I think maybe she's a little bit bitter about getting arrested at Skyrim, when she was crossing over into Skyrim. Maybe in her past, she experienced a lot of war or something and she's like done with it. I don't know, I think this is a fun character to kind of explore. Also, my hand hurt while drawing this. And as you all know, maybe, but I have carpal tunnel syndrome. So the fact that drawing this made my hand hurt, I don't know if this is going to be a sustainable project. And I think the whole idea of trying to learn how to draw when you have carpal tunnel syndrome is kind of ridiculous. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, is this just a way for me to just be in denial about the reality of having carpal tunnel? It's like, haha, I don't have carpal tunnel, I can draw this! Location, today's June 21st, and I had this idea to do, I was traveling and I saw this sign that looked like a shrimp holding a knife, and I thought it was really funny. It actually was just like a mural of jellyfish or something, but from a distance it looked like that, so I kind of did this character. The background's kind of faint, but you can see it kind of coming from the glow of the freezer, and then there's like a bottle of cocktail sauce that's been spilled, and there's a little ghost shrimp. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole concept. I had a sketching page over here. I don't know, I wish it was a little bit more cute. I don't know how to make it, because I feel like it should be like a cute kind of ghost character. But yeah, it's the ghost shrimp. It is June 23rd. And I did a tutorial video about how to draw trees, which I've never really thought about drawing or practicing drawing. It was really cool, so I definitely want to start sketching trees more, because I actually love them. So it'll be cool to kind of like start drawing some of my favorite ones, I guess. I'm so tired. It's literally 11 p.m. on a Monday. You don't know the amount of willpower that it took to get on here. June 26th, up for June 26th, yay. And I know I have very little responsibility for that, I have very little control over that, but I'd like to feel like I am doing something to push the needle away from the TV apocalypse back to a decentralized filmmaking landscape, and a world where filmmaking is democratized and everyday people can do it, which is something that's happening on TikTok. Like, that was kind of the thing that made it blow up, was that everyone felt like they could make videos. But yeah, even if like doing this just inspires one person who is more capable than I to do something and like make something really original, or maybe if Google sees this, like, I don't know. And I could also be completely off base. I could be totally wrong. Maybe YouTube becoming TV, maybe Instagram becoming TikTok, and TikTok trying to become YouTube is a good thing. Or maybe it'll just all fizzle out and we'll all go back to our day-to-day lives, but it would be so cool if it didn't. It would be so cool if we could get these companies to take accountability for their algorithms, what they're pushing, how they're shaping the culture, how they're shaping creatives, and like what we watch. They could take accountability for that. If we change our habits as viewers to watch stuff that is more meaningful, we could support creators who are actually doing meaningful stuff. If we could foster creators to develop their stuff and make it sustainable, so we don't have like 1,000 YouTubers promoting honey, you know, that coupon thing. And hearing that too, like, why does it have to be like that? You know, I wish it wasn't, and I don't think it should be. I think we're still at the beginning of the internet, and we're still relatively early in filmmaking. This is such a cool advancement, and I feel like I'm definitely rambling. I'm so angry.